Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, where today we have the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Retro Series, retro card back, Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider. I just wanted to look at the packaging because, unlike a lot of other Marvel Legends I have, I'm actually kind of nostalgic for this packaging because I actually owned a few of the old Spider-Man Retro Series figures. I had a Doc Ock, I actually still have them, a six-armed Spider-Man, I had the Spider-Woman, and Hobgoblin. So Hobgoblin holds a special place for me, and so does six-armed Spider-Man. The Doc Ock I have isn't my favorite version of Doc Ock, and the Spider-Woman I have is, I even thought it was a bad figure when I was a kid and I had it. So, I did see a couple of these before. I've seen a couple of these, in the actual packaging before. The ones I got as a kid, I got from our local comic shop, which we don't have anymore, sadly. But I'm a little nostalgic for this. I wasn't raised in the 90s or anything. I'm a 2000s kid, baby. I was born in 2002, so yeah. I just wanted to take a look at the packaging real quick. It's nostalgic. And I kind of wish I would have picked up two of these. And for those of you that overpaid for this guy when he was first coming out and everyone was going crazy for him, I feel bad for you. $50 for this figure, I just don't think is worth it. But people were paying well over $50 for this guy. As much as I like the Scarlet Spider, as much as I like Ben Reilly, as much as I think this body is good, and as much as I do think this figure is going to be good, I don't think that's worth it. I think at that point you should have just bought the Mafex. But we'll get into that when I compare him to the Mafex. So I just wanted to open this guy up. And I will preface this by saying I was not a Toy Biz fan. So none of the other... I'm not a Toy Biz dick rider is what I'm going to say. I do think they made some pretty cool figures, especially for the time. They were really nice. But I don't think even... I'd say maybe... there's maybe a few of their figures that beat a Hasbro figure, and... besides that, I think, yeah, their Marvel Legends line was pretty revolutionary. Okay, the figure's out of the packaging. But I will say, I'm not the biggest fan of them, so, but I have been perusing and deciding maybe I'll pick up a few old Toy Biz figures. Probably pick up that Monsters box set, because I don't think we're ever getting any of those characters in Hasbro's Marvel Legends. Okay, so this is a body I've looked at a couple times on this channel already. It's the body that was originated here. And they also had it with the Daredevil. I don't have the Daredevil out right now. I put him away, but this is the comparison that really matters. They're basically the same size. And that's good. That works because he's a clone. Arguably the most famous clone in any, media, I'd say would be him. I'm trying to think of any other clones. And it's hard. The clones from Star Wars, maybe? Yeah, that's probably a little bit more popular than this guy, but... So, I'll say at least comic-wise, for comic fans, he's probably arguably the most popular clone. And for good reason. This is Ben Reilly. He's my favorite Spider-Man. He's the GOAT. So, as far as articulation goes, we'll just go over it real quick. It's a blank... On the blank body, it'll be better, but... it's got a hoodie over it, so it can crunch in that far, go back that far. There's a ball joint up in there, but you're not going to get too much out of that because of the hoodie. The head can look up that far, which isn't terrible, actually. I think they might have actually upgraded the head range on this. Let's see. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's just the eyes are bigger, so it looks more like he's looking up more. But yeah, you got good tiltage out of it. And okay head movement. The This is the type of head movement, if they're going to do that type of joint, I want there to be a cut at the bottom of the neck, no matter what figure that is. It's an action figure. I don't mind there being a cut at the back. But yeah, he's got a butterfly joint that's not going to work very well with this very hard hoodie in the way. It's very hard. But he's got a bicep swivel, pinless double jointed elbows that are very stuck out of the package. He's got the, you know, the classic hinge on the fist, in and out. And then, let's get that back. For the hips, he can kick forward that far, out that far, which is almost there. It's almost there. It's not terrible. You got the thigh swivel. You got the double jointed pinless knees that can almost go and kick him in the back, but not quite. You have a boot cut, and then you have the hinge that can go back that far. And oh, these are really tight out though. And then you can go forward that far, and then you have the toe joint. So there's articulation for you. Yeah, it's a little bit more hindered on this guy, but it's not terrible. I don't like that he can't put his arms down. That enough is grounds for me to actually replace this hoodie with a soft goods one. And for articulations, he has the whole array of Spider-Man hands, the ones that you need. He's got the fists, the thwippers, got 2 of the thwippers, and 2 of the wall crawling hands. I do think there should be another set of hands with every Spider-Man going forward, especially in Marvel Legends now, and that is the grippers, you know, the ones that you can grip webs with. I think that's really also a need ever since they put that with the Amazing Fantasy 15 buck. I think that's just something that we need. And I also wish he came with a Ben Reilly head sculpt. Technically, let me pull it out. Let me stop the recording. Okay, we are back. But technically, the Renew Your Vows head will fit on here, so you can actually get a good unmasked Ben Reilly. And for those of you that are like, Ben Reilly's blonde, he's blonde. Technically, he didn't have blonde hair until he was Sensational Spider-Man. So, this works. You can use this if you want to. I still prefer him in the blonde, so I'm not gonna use it, but if you wanted to, you could. And that's just such a satisfying pop when that comes off. But, okay. We've got an amazing head sculpt. These are the eyes that most people want for their Ben Reilly. I also like the modern ones, but I like these as well. The 90s are some of the best comics. And then, just, you know, you got the overlay little web shooter pieces, which are actually different from the Sensational Spider-Man figure. So that's pretty dope. And then you have the pouches on the feet, which I always thought were funny to have pouches on your ankles. You got the belt, which I think is really nice. It goes all the way around. You got the spider symbol. And he's got the white pull strings on this one, which I actually like. So, yeah. I do wish this came with like an alternate plug-in piece so you could have the hooded up version. But I mean, I would rather add a soft goods hoodie. I mean, technically I have this version that has a soft goods hoodie, and you could maybe put that on here, but I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking up this guy's hoodie. I was going to buy a bunch of different types of hoodies for that one, but I think I will for this one, because this is going to be the one I play with. This guy's just going to stay, this one's just going to stay on a shelf. As great as this figure is, you know, technically it is the more articulated, it's technically the better figure, but there's so many issues with this guy. This leg is so fragile that it feels like it's going to break at any second, and I've seen a lot of people have that issue where the leg does break off. And then plus Mafek's hands, switching out Mafek's hands is the biggest pain in the ass ever. But it is a nice figure. I do still pose him around sometimes, but I just feel like this is the figure I'm going to play with. This is going to be the Spider-Verse shelf, Scarlet Spider, and this is going to be the one that I just play with. So we'll get him into size comparisons. So we have him with the Sensational Spider-Man, Ben Reilly. So these are the same character, and they're about the same size, actually, which is pretty cool, at least height-wise. I do hope we get this costume on this with the pinless technology and stuff. It doesn't really matter for the arms, but for the legs, those do look ugly. And then I want to get a cane on this body, a Scarlet Spider cane, because I really like that design, and those are the 3 clone brothers, you know? I'd like to get a original cane, not Spider-Man cane, like the first cane that came out, too, like the first appearance of him, where he looked all crazy and just batshit insane. But I will take a Scarlet Spider cane as well on this body. And then we have the Peter Parker. So these 2 will probably be Shelf Brothers. I do like this costume the most out of these 3, I'd say. This one used to be my favorite, and he does inch up there. He's up there. He's in my top 5 favorite Spider-Man costumes, I will say. And then we have 2 more Spideys. These are the only Spider-Man comparisons I'm going to pull out. We have the Miles, the Marvel Legends Miles, and then the Amazing Yamaguchi Iron Spider. I hope Amazing Yamaguchi gets to Scarlet Spider or Kane. I would also really like them to get to Kane, because we have some good Scarlet Spiders, good options, but we don't have a good Kane option, and I really do like Kane. Kane Parker is a great looking design, at least. Stories aren't always the best, but that's for another day. Then we have a Marvel Legends Punisher. Oh, frick. Sorry, we gotta get him stood up a little bit better. And then we'll just put the Mayfix back in there one more time. So, that looks good. And then we have the new 2-pack Iron Fist. Just kind of want to see what they look like together. And then we have the Luke Cage. Let me get him out of the pose, I guess. Get him stood up. And I am good. Okay. So yeah, that looks nice. And then we'll do the Mayfix Wolvie, which is pretty big compared to him, but not too bad. And then the Marvel Legends Hot Claws Wolvie, my favorite Wolvie from Marvel Legends that I have. And then we'll do Mayfix Nightwing. And I'll just put the Amazing Yamaguchi Spidey right down here. That's so you can see what he looks like down next to a Crouch Down Spidey. Okay, so yeah, that's everything I have to compare him with, I think. Yeah, this is a good figure. I'm sure he poses really well. From all the pictures I've seen, he's gonna pose up great. Well, I am sure he poses up really well, because I own essentially this figure already 2 times, actually. So, but this is just a character that I love so much, so I'm glad to have an even more articulated version of this suit in Marvel Legends. Like I said, not better than the Mayfix, but it'll go better with the Marvel Legends that I usually pair the Mayfix up with, and I won't worry about snapping the leg off. So, yeah. He's on Big Bad Toy Store right now for $25. I'd recommend you get him before he does sell out and goes back up in price. He's a great figure, and he's a figure we needed, and I want him to be supported, because who knows, maybe they'll see that and be like, yeah, we should put that amount of effort into all of our figures, you know. They've been doing great lately. I will say Hasbro's been doing a good job lately with their action figures, especially the Spider people. So hopefully we get a Kane on this body. And then hopefully eventually we'll get an updated teenager body for Miles. This figure still gets into great poses, don't get me wrong, but I hope we get an updated one for Miles. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you around. Bye.